Welcome back to Tabletop Assault. My name's David, and today we're starting something a little bit new, so thank you very much for joining us. We're going to start a couple of new video series called Spotlights, where we just simply take a quick snapshot view of a particular unit of your choice. These units will be selected from comment sections, people asking us to have a look at certain units and just kind of give our thoughts. In no means do I pretend to be an expert in these sorts of units, but it's also good for the units I am experienced with and the units I'm not experienced with to take a look at it and just give first glance opinions. This is by no means a deep review like Ross does in his videos. I don't want to step on anyone's toes here in the channel. I'm just going to have a wee look at units and have a wee chat about it. Going forward as well, I'd like you to cast votes in the comment section down below for what units you'd like us to actually take a look at, and we'll dive into it and break it down. This is the first unit for the series though, is going to be the Venomcrawler if the title that you've clicked on hasn't given it away. A couple of people have requested this. Apologies it's taken so long to get these videos out. I had a bout of illness for the last few months, but that's me sort of back on my feet for battle reports and now get the energy to kind of commit to this series and just have a look at some units. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Venomcrawler. So the Venomcrawler first of all comes in at 110 points, I believe, and obviously this is where the Chaos Spaceman Codex is still to be updated, which I think is very close around the corner. So we're looking at it with eyes of early 9th edition opinion. A lot of these will be subject to change when the codex comes out. So 110 points. Let's look at the datasheet to see if 110 points kind of brings you value on the tabletop. So 110 points, we're going to give you a stat line of 10-inch movement, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 6, toughness 7, wounds 10, attacks 4, leadership 8, and save 3+. Already from the bat, looks quite good. 110 points for a 10 wound model that moves 10 inches. Sure, that could be really good value. Let's take a look at the weaponry to see if you're actually going to get good value for those stat lines to take advantage of it. So you're armed with Assault Flare Tendrils, Eviscerating Claws, and 2 Excruciator Cannons. Excruciator Cannons, just from first glance at the damage, I think that's going to be updated in 9th edition. So it's 36 inches, Assault D3, Strength +2, which brings you to Strength 8 when you shoot it, if you're at top bracket. AP -2 and D3 damage. Damage, I believe, will be changed. I think that might look at 2 flat. If you look at a lot of D3 damage in 9th edition Codex updates, you're kind of going for 2 flat damage for a lot of things. So 2 flat damage could be really good. So, and you've got 2 of these guns, so potentially a maximum of 6 shots, average of 3. You could be killing some Primaris Marines, which isn't bad. Primaris are a pain in the butt. So the gun's not bad, it's long range. You think for this type of unit you're going to want to try and get them into combat, so I'm surprised it's not got a lot of like sort of mid-range weaponry on it, because you're not going to keep this thing sitting in the backline with ballistic skill 4 chucking out Assault D3 sort of mini Venom cannons, which they kind of are. They're kind of a copy of the Tyrannid Venom cannon. Combat weapons though is where I'd expect to see it sort of pick up a little bit. We've got the Eviscerator Claws, which will bring you again to Strength 8, -3, 3 damage with 4 attacks. I like this. I like this a lot. That's some high damage output if you can get your hits through, so I'm assuming the new codex comes out with a bunch of shenanigans to get rerolls and stuff. Soul Flare Tendrils, which will be Strength 6, -2, 2 damage. An additional 2 attacks whenever the bearer fights. So you're getting a total of 6 attacks with the Venomcrawler. You're going to get 4 of those at damage 3 and 2 of them at damage 2. So in combat, this thing can do some serious damage. We're not even taking a look yet at where it synergizes with stratagems and other units. But so far, yeah, quite liking it. If you can get this thing in combat, it's going to be a pain in the butt for your opponent to deal with, especially when we take a look at things like the abilities. So your abilities, it's going to get Hateful Assault. So essentially you're going to get 1+ attack when it charges, performs heroic intervention, or is charged until the end of the turn. So really your damage 3 attacks are going to get 5 attacks if you're charging, are charged, or heroically intervene. That's really, really good. 5 potentially damage 3 with those backup of 2 additional attacks at damage 2. I quite like it. Typical demon unit is going to get a 5-up invul save. So at 3-up armor, 5-up invul, toughness 7, this thing might be a problem to kill. If you don't, take it seriously. If you let this thing zip up to your battle line, get in there and start chopping units up, it could be a problem. So you actually might want to consider dealing with this early. If a guy's bringing a lot of Venomcrawlers and Hellbrutes, you probably want to deal with the Venomcrawlers first while they're away from the battle line. The Hellbrutes are still a pain, but they don't have that invul stack, I believe. So they are something you can deal with when they get up close because they're just stacking armor saves. Right, Devourer of Souls. At the start of your turn, this model regains 1 lost wound, so again, that's pretty typical. In addition, at the end of every fight phase in which a model is destroyed, any models, blah, blah, blah. So you can bring wounds back on it. You expect that from a lot of demon engines. Again, another reason why you might want to start to deal with this thing early, just so it's starting to not stack its wounds back up again. Reservoir of Demonic Energy. Add 1 to the result of any demonic rituals. I'm going to just move past that. I don't do rituals, I don't do summonings in 9th edition or 8th edition for that matter, because I just don't think the rule set works. If anyone believes I'm wrong for ritual summoning, by all means I'm up for learning, I'm up for being educated. Put it in the comment section down below. I'd love to see a way that ritual summoning really works in the 9th edition meta. I'm just really struggling to see ritual summoning being a thing. Don't know what it'll look like in 9th edition. Codex when it comes out. Soul Shredding Explosion. So this thing explodes in a 5-up and causes D3 mortal wounds for all models within 6 inches. Yeah, again, comes back to my earlier point. You want to deal with this thing quickly because your opponent's probably going to fling this at you, get in the line. If it dies on a 1/3 of a chance, but it's going to cause some mortal wounds along with it. Yeah, I quite like this unit. Just chuck it into a battle line. If I was running Chaos Space Marines, I usually tend to run Iron Warriors if I'm outside of the standard, like, you know, your Thousand Suns or World Eaters. Iron Warriors, I'd probably take 3 of these if I could, and then just fling them forward and just see what shenanigans I could cause in my opponent's line when I get in combat, because these things are quite good in combat. Right, let's take a look at some of the data sheet related stratagems, because so far from the core rules and from the points value, it actually looks pretty decent unit. So if I look at some of the data sheets, let's look at the Legion specific ones. So we've got 2 Iron Warriors ones and 1 Brazen Beasts one. We've got Tank Hunters. We kind of all were familiar with Tank Hunters by now. When you're chosen an Iron Warrior unit in your army to shoot or fight with, select 1 enemy vehicle unit until the end of the phase. When resolving attacks made by that model, in the Iron Warriors unit, basically you can reroll wounds. Solid, but I want to improve my hit rolls. So do we have anything that can maybe improve hit rolls? Let's see as we get along, and that's without obviously command phase, give a unit reroll hits and stuff like that. Unholy Vigor, you can regain 3 lost wounds. So use the stratagem to start your movement phase, select an Iron Warrior's vehicle, that model regains 3 lost wounds, and you're already potentially regaining wounds from models destroyed, and you regain 1 at the start. Start your turn, so you could potentially regain 4 wounds at the start of your turn if you are using the stratagem in your movement phase, along with the regain wound from Devourer of Souls. So you might be sticking about a lot longer than your opponent thinks, hence why I'm saying deal with this unit quickly. Brazen Beasts, something I'm not actually familiar with, guys, is Brazen Beasts. So Burning Demon Heart. Use the stratagem at the end of the fight phase. Pick 1 enemy unit that is within engagement range of a Brazen Beast Demon Engine from your army, roll a d6, and a 2 or 4 that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds, and a 5 or 6 suffers 3 mortal wounds. Yeah, I quite like that. Again, coupling with the suicide idea of chuck 3 of them forward, let them cause all damage, your opponent eventually has to deal with them, and you've got a 1 in 3 chance of blowing up. So if you bring 3 of them, 1 of them should statistically blow up, causing mortal wounds. You're causing even mortal wounds with this Brazen Beast stratagem for only 1 command point. So Legion specific ones, not bad. They kind of synergize actually quite well. Let's look at Chaos Space Marine stratagem wise. Vessels of the Neverborn. Oh, okay. So use a stratagem to start the fight phase. Pick a Demonkin Ritualist Demon unit that is within 6 inches of a friendly Demonkin Ritualist Master of Possessions. Not use the Master of Possession yet. I need to look into that. I heard it's really, really good. Add 1 to the strength and attacks characteristics of this model until the end of the phase. Okay, that is great. So couple that with the Hateful Assault. Bring your attacks up to 6 for your damage 3 attacks, plus your 2 additional damage 2 attacks. You're hitting with 8 attacks. 8 attacks with that stratagem on the charge if you're charged. You should be causing some damage to your opponent's units there. You really should be. And you can probably rip open like a Rhino, a Predator tank, any of those toughness 7 tanks. Couple that as well with the Tank Hunter ability. You're probably going to rip up your toughness 7 vehicles probably quite easily with this unit. Soul Forged Pack. Okay, so use a stratagem in choosing your army. Pick a Chaos Space Marine detachment in your army that from your army to be Soul Forged Pack Specialist detachment. Warpsmith and Demon Engine units in that detachment gain the Soul Forged Pack keyword. Soul Forged Pack keyword. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to come into the next stratagem. So that's a 1 command point to upgrade a unit to give it that keyword. Then we come to Demon Forge Overdrive. So this is obviously why you're giving something the Soul Forged Pack keyword. So use the stratagem at the start of the fight phase. Pick a Soul Forged Pack Demon Engine, which you've previously used your stratagem at the start of the game to do that. Double the number of wounds that model has remaining for the purpose of determining wounds characteristics for the damage table. Yeah, it's okay. I don't quite rate that stratagem actually now I think about it, because your weapon skill, ballistic skill is never degrading on this unit. What is degrading is your strength, but in minimum you're going to be strength 6, because your minimum strength value is strength 4 plus 2, strength 6, which isn't actually that bad. Because I would see this more as it could still kill those multi-win Primaris with strength 6 quite easily. But it's nice to have, especially if you know you're up against a vehicle and you need your Venomcrawler to become a can opener, then yeah, Demon Forge Overdrive could be what you need. Infernal Engines, again, choose this at the start of your charge phase. Pick a Soul Forge Pack Demon Engine from your army. That model can charge even if it advanced. Now this thing moves 10 inches. So say you move 10 inches, say you get a really lucky advance roll of 6 inches, so you've moved 16 inches. Yeah, so you could probably do like a turn 1 9-inch charge if you did the Infernal Engines. Probably not useful in the first battle round, but second battle round, once armies have sort of countered each other's deployments, you could probably take your opponent, you know, by surprise by moving 10 inches, advancing and charging. I quite like that for one command point. Again, you need to do that previous Soul Forge Pack stratagem to use this ability. Blasphemous Engines. Use the stratagem before the Heretic Astartes vehicle attacks in the shooting phase. Until the end of the phase, that vehicle can ignore penalties for moving and firing heavy weapons or advancing and firing assault weapons. Well, let's just disregard that and move that, because in 9th edition now, firing his heavy weapon, it's not going to matter. It's just not going to matter. His assault weapons, it could matter though, because if he moves and advances, he can still fire his Excruciator cannons, but he will be -1 to hit. So you can spend 1 command point for Blasphemous Machines to basically hit a full ballistic skill, because you don't want to be shooting that cannon at 5 ups. Pretty bad. 4 ups, at least you got that 50-50 chance still. So it's okay. Probably not going to get used as much as you think. Demon Forge, the good old Chaos Space Marine staple, one of my favourites. Use a stratagem in your shooting or fight phase. Select a Chaos Demon vehicle chosen to attack. Reroll failed hits and win rolls till the end of the phase. Well, there you go. That actually got your way to reroll all your hits. Use it in the shooting phase if you get a really good amount of shots. Use it in the fight phase because you get tons of attacks to chuck, as you've just previously discussed. Demon Forge must, and that's really good on the Venomcrawler. Actually excellent, the Venomcrawler, to get your attacks through. The Dark Pact. Use a stratagem when a Wordbearer character attempts to summon... Oh god, so we're back on to rituals. I'm not going to touch on the Dark Pact, guys, because again, I don't believe in rituals, but let me know in the comment section down below if I'm completely wrong. Again, up for being educated, up for being told I'm wrong. Let me know if the Dark Pact can work. If you're a ritual player, you'll know what this is, this stratagem, and you can let me know if it works. A couple of key other learnings which wouldn't mind just mentioning really quickly. Again, coupled with the amount of attacks you can do, with the invul save, you probably want to also be thinking about bringing in now, I haven't been asked to cover this unit, but you also probably want to be thinking about bringing a Lord Discordant. There's obviously a couple of other ways that Lord Discordant can be really good. It's got his debuffs to hit, it's got his abilities to improve the vehicles, I will not discuss that because I've not been asked to, but Lord Discordant seems like a natural combination pairing with the Venomcrawler. Overall, if I was to give my honest opinions on the Venomcrawler, guys, I actually really like it. I think for 110 points, you're getting really good value for your points, especially if you bring 3 of them, 330 points. Could be a pain. I think your opponent, if they're not used to fighting Venomcrawlers, could be taken really nastily by surprise, especially if this gets into your opponent's battle line, and you can start chucking out attacks for days, especially with your Hateful Assault combination, Demon Forge, and with what else was it? With Vessels of the Neverborn as well, to add more sort of attacks. There's definitely potential to be had here in this unit. I don't see much of them on the tabletop these days. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. Overall thoughts, pretty decent unit. I'd rate it as a take from my Chaos Space Marines, especially as I do a lot of Iron Warriors. Let me know down below if you guys actually use the Venomcrawler. What do you combine it with? What do you use it Legion trait with? Any good synergies or even good stories you've had with using the Venomcrawler, like your Venomcrawler came up and just crunked a famous character. Let me know. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. A really quick spotlight video, guys. Put in the comment section down below the next video you'd like me to do a really quick spotlight upon. We've already got 2 already in the bag. That will be the Silent King and Logan Grimnar, so please do not request those, they're already in production. But yeah, really quick video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed. Check us on our social media links down below for all the updates on the channel, and we hope to see you again on our Tabletop Assault Battle Report.